Before start, all the guests, please give us a quick brief about who you are, what you guys doing, and why you have connection with Nostr. You can go from Will.
I'll start. All right. Hey, I'm Will. I made the first mobile Nostr client called Damus, and then it's the client that got Jack Dorsey into the network, and all of a sudden everyone seemed to care all of a sudden about Nostr after he got involved. But yeah, that was early 2022. So you guys are very early. The fact that you're here, you guys are ahead of the curve. It's very early technology. So yeah, I work on Nostr, I work on Bitcoin, I'm a Bitcoin core developer, I work on Lightning Network, and yeah, I made Zaps, I guess. So yeah, I'm just basically a huge nerd. So.
Sorry, it is our first time to Hong Kong.
It's my first time in Hong Kong, yes.
How are you saying it's Hong Kong?
It reminds me a lot like Vancouver, because Vancouver has like the mountains, the cityscapes.
Mountains, yes.
So it's like,
yeah.
I just feel like I'm like at home, so it's cool. I like it here. It's very hot and humid, but otherwise it's nice.
So you like it?
Yes, I do like it.
Super. Thank you. Wendy?
Hi, I'm Wendy, founder of Yakihonne. We are building on a decentralized social and payment application on Nostr to give people financial freedom and free speech. Thanks everyone for supporting us today.
Hi everyone, I'm Kushbu, the venture partner at Lightning Ventures. We primarily invest in Bitcoin only startups, and we have invested in around 40 plus companies. Now you would be wondering, what am I doing here? We haven't invested in Nostr companies like Hashkey has. We haven't yet. So my connection with Nostr is I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I love the technology, and my first, in fact, formal introduction to Nostr at a conference was last year at Nostr Riga, and thank you Sean for inviting me and having me here.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeffrey from Hashkey Capital, leading research work for the Hashkey Capital. So Hashkey Capital is a crypto VC, and we cover almost all sectors of the industry. But I myself, I think I'm more a Bitcoiner, so I'm also deep dive into all kinds of the new updates of the Bitcoin protocol. And so yeah, and also I myself a contributor to the Bitcoin Optech newsletter. So we noticed that. Okay. I noticed that the Nostr like maybe 2 or 3 years ago when some developers talking about that. So I still using that for daily some news from the Bitcoin communities until today. So yeah, so that's not until I was continuing using that. So yeah, and also yeah, happy to meet you guys today.
Awesome.
Optech is the best Bitcoin newsletter. Because if you're not subscribed to Optech, like, come on.
All right. Before official question session, I want to really appreciate, the special thanks. The first, our co-host, University City. City of University, Hong Kong, right? Is that right? Yes. Supports us this fantastic venue. This is little different web, right? It's fantastic. And also we have many awesome supporters like Bitcoin Magazine. We have a very deep collaboration with them many years as a media strategy partner. Damos, yes, we have very deeply worked together. Hashkey, Lightning Ventures, many of them, okay, says again, okay. So, the first question, I will go Will, okay. Before that, this is last meeting thing. Yesterday I met you, and you just finished your main stage keynote speech, okay? And you said you asked questions. How many people know Nostr, right? And if anyone knows Nostr, you can raise hands up. And how many?
I think I had one user, but no, like one. I called them a user because I recognized them because they came to Hong Kong because they knew about it. Everyone else, there was no one had their hand
basically
up.
zero.
So either like everyone was really shy, or also like no one legitimately.
Oh, shy is Asian culture.
So it's like I don't know if they're just really shy or they legitimately. But it's really weird for me because every time I go to a Bitcoin conference, a lot of people know by now because it's been around for like 3 years.
Yeah, this is exactly what I want to mention because compared, I mean, the past 3 years compared to other area, we went to Miami, we went to Nashville, Las Vegas, also Amsterdam, right? I still remember there are a lot of people raise hands up when we talk about Nostr. So the question is, for the newcomers, they don't know nothing about Nostr. Could you give us a quick brief about overview what is Nostr and why we call this censorship resistant protocols? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, so Nostr, I found Nostr because I was really annoyed with existing solutions. So the existing solutions to this whole decentralized social media, the main one was called the Fediverse. So the protocol is called ActivityPub. So, and I think one of the main implementations is Mastodon. So that was like, there's still a lot of people using it.
Yes.
But my first experience with that decentralized social media protocol is I started talking about Bitcoin, and then my account was banned by the admin because he's like, I don't like that you're talking about Bitcoin. I got banned from my instance. And the minute you get banned from your instance, you lose your social graph, you lose all your followers. You have to create a new account on a different instance. So I'm like, okay, I'll create an account on like this like libertarian instance. I'm like, I'm never gonna get banned for talking about Bitcoin, but the admin still didn't like me talking about Bitcoin. So I lost my account again. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Is this supposed to be the answer to decentralized social media? Anyway, so Nostr came along and it was like, this is how we actually do it properly. And a lot of people, like, they heard of Blue Sky, they heard of all these other protocols, but they're all centralized. Like, Blue Sky is like, you can join and get banned instantly.
Yeah.
Nostr is the first solution that you can create your account and you know that you cannot be deplatformed. It's basically impossible because the user, you hold the key. As long as you have the key, no one can like, because your account is not on a single location. It's not on a single server. Your account is spread across multiple servers. So even if you get banned from one server, it doesn't matter because you're on all the other servers. Mm-hmm. It's like a very elegant, very simple solution to this very specific problem, which is like you just being like not being able to be deplatformed, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so this has nothing to do with Bitcoin at all. This was just a very simple like let's try to make a censorship.
And also blockchain, right?
No blockchain.
Yes, no blockchain.
You don't need a blockchain for most things.
Yes, yes.
Like blockchains are good for very specific things, like like ledger, like keeping track of entries. But like if you want to build a decentralized social media protocol, you don't really need to use blockchain. So we don't use blockchain. But yeah, and then later on I added like Zaps, which was like a way to add Bitcoin to the protocol.
Who invited Zaps?
Huh?
Who invited Zap?
Who invented it?
Who created Zap?
I did.
Yeah.
No, but it's like all I did was like let's just add Bitcoin Lightning to the protocol. Because the protocol is meant to be extended. You can add features to it. Like I added reactions, I added likes, I added reposts. Anyone can add anything they want to the protocol, and then all of a sudden, all these other apps, like yours app, you have reactions, right? You have Zaps. But like that's the cool thing. You can come up with an idea. If it's a good idea, other people can adopt it, integrate it into their app, and it's like anyway. I don't know if that answers like what it is. It's quite the rabbit hole, but you get a little sense of it.
Thank you. Especially thanks you for creating Zap. That's amazing. Thanks.
Yeah, I was just goofing around really.
Honestly, yes. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks. We will talk Zap later. Okay. Zap I think is the keystones about Nostr. Yeah. We'll talk later. Yeah. So basically, as we talk, and based on you guys' face, I can see Nostr is still a niche market. Okay, it's very niche market. So, but. We can say that, okay, we need to admit that, but still there are some capital, there are some ventures already attract serious and attention. So this goes for Kushbu, goes for Jeffrey. What convinced you to study or even invested this space, invested Nostr?
Okay, I'll be more candid here. In fact, Jack Dorsey was the reason that was the high signal for me. If he's investing in this space, if he's supporting this space, that's a high signal for me. So one, that was the reason. Second, then you have, comparatively in Europe, you are more familiar with Nostr. And I am based out of Singapore. I haven't heard any other one apart from LN5 using Nostr as such. Even if I talk about general public, you might get the same answer if you would have asked this in Singapore. Well, I'm referring it to you. So if you would have been in the conference and asked people in Singapore, you would have got the same reaction. I think that's because of awareness, and that's because also the technology is quite new. People don't know what they're missing out. So we do need events like this. And apart from that, we have companies like Yakihonne, Dorsey, LN5, who's taking this forward. And maybe in future, we will also put our head to it. We tried with LN5, didn't work.
Okay.
But maybe next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the most reason it's just same with Will's arguments. I think so for the decentralized social network, don't need to be a blockchain. So because Nostr can just be a communication purpose for different applications. I think that's quite elegant solutions for this kind of communication. So you don't have to build all things just store on the ledger. So but we can
Okay, we will second you. Yeah, finally.
He should join us.
So you met Eric Trump? No. Maybe this one, it's okay.
Yeah, so let me continue. So I think that's a quite beautiful solutions for this kind of decentralized communication protocols. So just peer-to-peer, not on the blockchain. So yeah, so that's why we are quite interested in this kind of solutions, and we are also quite interested to explore new investments for this kind of new fields.
Thank you. Quick catch up. We talked about the ventures capital. Why, in this niche market, you decide to invest in some Nostr project? Why? How you say for Nostr?
Yeah, first of all, sorry for being late, because too many people, I cannot get on the taxi. Okay. Why we invest in this area? Because I think Nostr and Bitcoin, they are kind of the same thing. They represent the truly decentralized and the truly and the pure decentralization. Yeah, this is most of the other crypto projects, they are partly centralization and partly decentralized. So I think only Nostr and Bitcoin. Yeah, this is the most important reason. And also I think Nostr have a good potential because Nostr is a social media infrastructure. So we know social media area, they have probably like Twitter, they have probably most users for all the social media. And if we can build one decentralized Twitter based on Nostr, imagine what's going to happen. Yeah. So both belief and economic reason. Yeah.
Like Bitcoin.
Yeah, like Bitcoin. Yeah.
Thank you. So we talk about ventures perspective, and we also interested about we call the builder side. Okay, builders, how, especially Winnie and Wills, how you think. The question is, why did you decide to build on Nostr specifically instead of other decentralized protocols? You mentioned like Blue Sky, like Mastodon, even Farcaster. We can, yeah.
Yeah, like just going back to what I was saying before, I was on these other platforms because they're apparently the best solution. They were the best solution, apparently. But I kept getting banned from them. How is it the best solution if I'm getting banned faster than getting banned on Twitter?
Yeah.
Clearly they're not working. And the thing that impressed me the most was, so the guy who made Nostr, his name is Fiat Jeff. He's this crazy Brazilian guy. He just put together a markdown.
How you met together? In the first place, how do you?
Yeah, so I was working on the Lightning Network. So this is a Bitcoin L2, basically to enable payments on top of Bitcoin. And so Fiat Jeff, this guy, he built something called LN Ural. So it's the thing that allows you to fetch invoices over the web. Mm-hmm. So he was in this, I knew him from that. And then, so one day he just put up a markdown document on GitHub. He's like, here's how we fixed social media. It's like, he just did it in like a couple hours, like whatever, here's how you fix it. So I read the document, I'm like, I read it in about 10 minutes. The entire protocol document in 10 minutes. And I'm like, this is it, and it's so simple. And then on the weekend, I just built a client. And if you can build a client on a weekend just from reading like 10 minutes.
Demos, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just built it on the weekend, like, and it worked, and it was fast. I had to tweak the protocol, but, and I'm like, oh, and then I started posting on it. I was like the only one on the network. It was like me, and I think there was like a dishwasher it was like an IoT dishwasher. Like every time the dishwasher like finishes dishes, it would like send a message to Nostr. It was like me and a dishwasher for like the longest time. And I'm like, anyway. And it was funny because like new people would join the network and it was only like me, the dishwasher, and people would reply to the dishwasher like, "Hey, I'm new," and the dishwasher would reply. I'm like, "Do you know you're talking to a dishwasher?" Anyway, it was funny. The early days were hilarious. Yeah, and then eventually, then Jack Dorsey found it. It was just like a side project, and then Jack Dorsey found it. And I'm like, okay. But now it's like a lot of smart people have joined the network. Like we got this one guy who's like this genius database. He's like the world's expert on databases. And he like made a database just for Nostr. And I'm pretty sure that's why Nostr works, is because that one guy, he made this piece of software that is now like the fastest database in the world or something. Anyway, so you get a lot of smart people coming together to try to solve this one specific problem. And yeah, so that's how it started. And I still think it's the best solution to fix that problem of, how do you not get deplatformed? Because it's such a common thing. Like the web has become so centralized. Like these corporations have taken over every aspect of our digital existence. And if you say the wrong thing, if you tick off advertisers, then you'll get removed from their system. So it's a serious problem that we need to fix. And I think Nostr is the best solution.
Really?
Okay, I totally agree with Will. Just one sentence. Actually, we compared many decentralized social protocols. Nostr was the only one very common discussed. Also, Nostr is scalable and fully censorship resistant. So at the same time, it's open source and token free. We can just focus on our building. That's why we chose Nostr.
Thank you. Yeah, for my experiences, when we're working on Yakihonne project, in Nostr ecosystem, there have lots of noise every day. It's a lot of noise. Some is noise, some I don't know, some encourages, some opportunity. I don't know. Sometimes I can't. Yes, but. I think there's one thing, it's really true. We talk about usability. Now, many users or many creators, they talk about onboarding, search, discovery, and filtering. So, I think you are a professional one, okay? So, how do you say Nostr involving to improve the UX while still keeping decentralization intact?
Are you talking about like in terms of discovering content?
Yes, discovering content, like any UI, UX, yes, experiences, yes.
Yeah, as long as some people are trying to centralize Nostr already. Like Primal is one example where they're very centralized, but you can
very centralized.
But you can build content discovery in a way that's like decentralized. I don't think that's ever gonna. We can do it. A lot of these things are just very early. Like a lot of the early clients, you would literally just get a reverse chronological feed of like all your followers. It's very simple. There's no algorithms. In the early days, there's no algorithms. But that makes it really hard to find interesting content because most people's interaction with social media in like 2025 is you open up TikTok and you just like move your thumb up and down. And like there's like no thinking required, right? So this is what we're competing against. And a lot of those things like Twitter, they have massive databases of like algorithms that are just trying to feed you content that you think you like. But on a decentralized network, we don't have that huge like engine that's trying to feed you content you might like. So I think we need to start building. I think we'll get there. We're going to start building algorithms from the ground up, from the opposite end. Like maybe the client will learn what you like. because there's no server where you can do those things. Anyway, yeah, it's a challenge. It's just, but it's still very early, and people are still just experimenting.
Yes, too earlier. Yes.
Yeah.
No one has
Yeah.
It's still early.
Like I always say, like, look at Bitcoin, and when Bitcoin was 3 years old, it was like, what was the price of Bitcoin when it was 3 years old? Probably like $50 or something. So like, imagine if you're in Bitcoin when it's like $50. Like, that's what it feels like what Nostr is right now. Unfortunately, there's no coin. You're not going to make any money off it, but but it's like, at least it's cool. You're part. It feels very much like a punk movement, where it's like kind of people who are against the grain. So a lot of people on Nostr right now are just like, they're not there to make money. They're not here to like pump a coin. They're just here because they love freedom and they love, censorship resistance. And I think that's just a very wholesome way to start a decentralized network.
Yeah. Yes, you talk about the coin, and so next question it's made me thinking. We don't talk about the shitcoin, but we talk a little bit about the stickcoin. Okay. Okay. Look at your face. Okay, stickcoin. So recently, I think the whole crypto world, we talk about the stickcoin. There are some rumors, especially yesterday I saw some news. USDT will is deployed in IGB, I think, something like that. I don't know if it's true or false, but yeah. So actually, this question is for Jemo, for Kushbu, and so for Jeffrey. We're seeing growing attention around stablecoin, especially Lightning, right? So how do you think this affecting to a broader Bitcoin and Nostr ecosystem? Maybe we can start from Lightning. Yes, the stablecoin will. Yes.
Okay. So I'll answer not from a technical standpoint, but I'll answer from a commercial and business standpoint here. So when you talk about stable coins, even if people doesn't know stablecoin, doesn't know Nostr, doesn't know Bitcoin, doesn't know Lightning, but when a company makes a profit in 2024 around $12.9 billion, they will get attention. And of course, you will deep dive into what stablecoin. That will evolve into, okay, let me figure out what's Lightning Network. Then you'll figure out what Bitcoin is, and then comes Nostr. So in my opinion, Nostr will get stitched into communication left, right, and center, and into the fabric of Bitcoin. So even if it's working that way, I'm happy. At least people will eventually get to know what Nostr is, what Bitcoin is. Yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, I think stablecoin is it's a very good way for users to get into the Bitcoins. I think that's a way for them to get into how they can use the Lightning maybe for daily payment. Because right now, still people, I think it's very hard for them to using just based on to do the payment just based on the Bitcoin. So 2 days ago, actually, I found a coffee shop in Hong Kong, just near here, just at the central market, I think.
It's charred coffee.
Yeah, charred coffee. So I bought like 2 cups of coffee. So it cost me like around $10 US. So what I do is that I instantly buy $2 US Bitcoins from the centralized exchange to make me Delta neutral or maybe a Bitcoin neutral. And I also got the discount from the coffee shop because they offer a discount of 10% discount for the if I pay by Lightning. So, but if later on, so people but for other people, I think it's still very hard for them to just pay to buy some coffee just on the Bitcoin side. But if there's USDT or maybe some other stablecoin for them to buy the coffees just using the Bitcoins or maybe Lightning, I think that's maybe a good way for them to get started and to learn what is Lightning, what is Bitcoin, and that's maybe the very first step for them as well.
Just a shameless plug here, I want to say, please do check out Chart Coffee because they've recently integrated, Lightning Bitcoin payment. So you don't find much places in Hong Kong that accepts Bitcoin. So this is the place, and if you want to, because we get to see in conferences in Europe, US, but this is quite new in Hong Kong. So Chart Coffee is also a friend. I know them very well, and I orange pilled them. So that's why I'm just trying to promote them. I won't get anything out of it, but
This is only spot.
sorry.
Only restaurant in Hong Kong can.
I think so.
Like Singapore, right?
This is Hong Kong. I mean, talking
No, I
about
mean,
Jack.
I think about that place, the only one.
Oh, the zoo bar?
Yeah,
Yeah. That if you are in Singapore, then there's zoo bar that accepts Bitcoin. So yeah, at least we have 2 places in these 2 countries.
I think the aha moment is like when you're able to like put up a shit post onto social media, people zap you and you get a bunch of sats, and then you can take those sats and go to a coffee shop.
Exactly.
Like that's the coolest like circular economy ever. It's just doing shit posts and getting coffee for it. So.
Well, first of all, I think the news about Tether is going to issue USDT on RGB is true.
It's true, right?
Yeah, because one of our portfolio company, they contributed to this. So, but we don't know when the exact time. They just confirmed that they are planning to do this. Probably there's still some technical issue to resolve. This is one. And second, I think for stablecoin, right now, at the current market, stablecoin is the biggest opportunity. Right now, the total market cap of all the US stablecoin is almost 300 billion. And people predict that in 3 to 5 years, it will increase to 10x, which is 3 trillion. So this is a huge difference. And how to cut a piece of cake from the increasing of the market cap of the stablecoin is all ecosystem, not only on Nostr, but also other ecosystem should consider. So different ecosystems will compete on this USD stablecoin cake. And I know Phil Jeff, he didn't like altcoins. And Nostr changed.
I have a message in history, so it changed.
Okay. I hope so. Yeah. And but at least I think Nostr can integrate stablecoin better. Yeah, especially the Lightning stablecoin on Lightning network. Yeah. And well, if Jeff want to be another Satoshi, yeah, she should like token because Bitcoin has a token, you know.
And that's one thing to realize is that there's no reason why Bitcoin has to be, or like Nostr has to be related to Bitcoin at all, right? You could add stable coins, like a stablecoin Zap to Nostr. You could add a fiat Zap to Nostr. You can add like an Ethereum Zap to Nostr. There's nothing like. The only reason there's Zaps on Nostr is because I was a Bitcoiner and I decided to add it. But anyone can, if you're an Ethereum person, you want to add Ethereum Zap to Nostr, no one's going to stop you. You have to convince all the apps to implement that. But so that's the cool thing about Nostr. It's very flexible.
Yeah.
I think on Nostr stablecoins are basically innovatable. From short term, maybe collect a bit with Nostr and Bitcoin culture, but from long term, it will help Nostr unlock new use cases and help Nostr grow much faster than before. I think so.
Yeah, actually, we will make me realize. For example, this is we made for exclusive special for this event. We call it gift card. This card included 2,100 cents, which means the Bitcoin, the real Bitcoin here. And if you scan here, you can get this. The next week we will go to Bali Airline. There is a Bitcoin conference. We are Yakihonne. We are the co-hosts. It's not advice, okay, but all the participants they can use this 2,100. Go to the famous Bitcoin coffee shop to buy 2 coffee, American or espresso. See, just like we or just like Jeffrey and Kushbu said, whatever stablecoin or other things, but we definitely need some real use case. This is I think this is the huge important things. Yes.
Or you can hold on to those 2,100 sats and then buy a house. In
the price, right? Yeah, exactly.
Buy a car in 20 years.
It's nice to have medium of exchange also if you want this to sustain. So store of value and medium of exchange goes hand in hand.
Yeah. So anyway, we talked about a little bit about Bitcoin, ventures perspective, and builders perspective, and let's think about the market. Okay, we talk about the Bitcoin price. Looking ahead, especially for the ventures, do you think Nostr could become a key narrative for the next Blue Circle? Or maybe for this round's Blue Circle, I don't know. We are really love to hear your perspective on this. Maybe start from Jemo.
Well, I just came from the main event, and Eric Trump and a few other guys, David Bailey, they predict that Bitcoin will go up to 1 million. And this is just basically the consensus of most of the Western Bitcoin holders. And your question is about whether Nostr will be the new narrative for next jump of Bitcoin, right? I don't want to say, but I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Because Nostr right now is too low profile. You know, we rarely see some promotions, and there's no foundation, and the community is not very strong, and a few others. So I think, as Will said, it's still very early. So only 3 years old, right? So, but we need to accelerate, I think. We don't need to learn everything from Bitcoin, but there's something we need to learn. For example, even for Bitcoin, they have some very strong community. They have some very strong centralized institution, like Bitcoin Magazine for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin Embassy for Canada and the US. And there were a few others. So I'm not sure whether Jack Dorsey will support that kind of community or not. So we need some centralized institution to get more exposure for Nostr and to build stronger community, and especially if Nostr, if you want to make it quick, Nostr can consider having a token. This is my suggestion. So if Nostr has a token, because I still remember for Damus was crazy. I have a lot of traditional friends who never hold any Bitcoin, and they have Damus in their phone. And Damus was just crazy, sweeping the social media of China, the WeChat. I see a lot of retweets, and they thought, wow, Damus was so cool. It's decentralized, and there was some rumor. They said, okay, this app probably will have a token. This is another important reason. So it works, you know. We don't know if it's good or not, but at least we get some exposure first, and then you select some true believer after. Yeah.
I honestly think it's going to help Bitcoin adoption kind of indirectly, because I've talked to so many people where they're like, oh, Bitcoin looks like a scam, it's too complicated. But then I'm like, okay, just download Damus, and then they just get zapped, and they're like, wait, it's that easy? That's that easy to get Bitcoin? And then they just become a believer. So if we're gonna get mass adoption at a mass scale, you need to make it easy for people to receive their first Bitcoin. And I can't think of a better way than for someone to post something on social media and then get zapped. So I think it's going to help Bitcoin adoption, and I think it's probably the thing that's going to help get people their first Bitcoin. It's going to be their entry point.
Kushbu, what do you say?
I would say, every technology goes through, or every innovation goes through an adoption curve. So same applies to Nostr, and we are really early. And more, if we have more use cases, more business model around it, that will eventually happen. I don't know what would be the catalyst for that. Would it happen this bull cycle next? I don't know that. I can't predict that. But recently Jack Dorsey launched BitChat app, and it is also built on Nostr protocol. So something like this, gains attention. And also, if we have more, Nostr events simultaneously with Bitcoin conferences, because Bitcoin eventually is picking up. I'm talking about common people who even maybe the price factor is working here in this case. And if we have more events around Nostr with Bitcoin events, then I think that would be possible.
Frankly speaking, to answer your questions, I also don't think Nostr will be a key narrative in the near future. But I do believe that Nostr will be the narrative that exists for a very, very long time. So, because when we look back into the Nostr's design, its philosophy, I think it's quite similar with Lightning Network and other kind of protocols that we upon the Bitcoin. So, if the if the Lightning Network can success, I think Nostr will also success. But just we need some time for people to understand all the decentralized, how it's important and how it's valuable for the people to use. So I think that will take some time.
Thank you. Well, we talk about the users' experiences, I think, especially like Zap things. So this question goes for the builders, Windows, and Will. Are there any recently, how to say, innovation that caught your eyes? Something you think is especially adoption worthy, something?
In terms in general, in terms of Nostr protocol stuff?
Both of them, I think, in general, or Nostr, yeah.
I mean, so one of the biggest complaints about Nostr that we get is that when people join for the first time, it's like too many people are talking about Bitcoin. It's like right now it's kind of like the Bitcoin social network.
Yeah.
And so when people join, they're like, oh, okay, well, this is a bunch of crypto bros, and they leave. So, one innovation that I've really liked recently is this idea called follow packs.
Follow packs, okay.
So this guy named Calais, he works on Cashew, and he's like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna make it easy for people to create packs of people, so that if you hey, these are a group of people that are interested in farming or something, and then you can publish that. So once he created this app, he created this micro app where you can create follow packs. Since that data lives on Nostr itself, Damus, we now use those follow packs as an onboarding tool.
Okay.
So now when you create an account, you can actually, instead of just going right into a bunch of Bitcoiners, you can actually follow, let's say, farmers or homesteading or anything like Christianity. So that's going to help a lot, I think, with just making people feel at home versus just feeling like you're in a weird crypto space.
Recently I have seen a lot of meaningful innovations on Nostr. For example, demos, no desk. It's very friendly and fast, well-kept, decentralized. And also Yaki or Ken are working on programmable Spark widget. That means make easy for builders deploy their applications on Nostr. Beyond that, there's some concern about Lightning Network custodial natures could limit the scalability of Nostr applications, but I'll be also private some non-custodial solutions. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the final topics, final questions for all of you guys. Look ahead to the 5 years, maybe 1 decade. What do you think the social networking will look like in that world? Social networking, the next 5 years, next decade. Maybe Jeffrey.
I think maybe in the next 5 years, I think people probably. I think Nostr will be a very good example. Maybe it still exists in 5 years, just like I mentioned before. But I think also besides that, I think by the way, I think the Nostr could be used in many other kind of applications besides the social network. So you can just using that to transmit some message to other applications, just like to dishwashers or maybe some kind of other things. But for back to the social network, I think the people will get used to using that cryptographies, to using that data to keep their identity and to make that social network more uncensored. That's my hope.
Thank you.
I would say if someone is using social network, one of the primary reason is to express themselves, to express their thoughts. And what's the point if you are in a constant fear that my account might get might get deplatformed, or I might be asked to delete, or I might not be able to get a hold of my account. So I see Nostr, getting momentum and gaining attention over there. Second, other platforms has like mindless scrolling and like 1,000 fake likes and everything, which is not here. And apart from that, I think the most important is when you have a platform where you can have something around. You have a voice, you have whatever you want to say. You're not controlled by any corporation or any two companies, holding that, or the state, in fact, having a control over what narrative they want to have around any political issue, anything related to a country, anything which is happening. Or you cannot just change the narrative, or I'm just don't want to give an example over here, but just want to be diplomatic here, and I don't want any nation or any corporation for that matter, change or build a narrative that goes against them or that is not true. I want to know what are the facts. I don't want to rely on false narrative. That's what I want.
From my side, I believe that the next generation of media is not social media, but how we are working on this.
Okay.
I think Bitcoin showed us a new way to think about the internet. I think in the early days of the internet, things were actually decentralized. We talk about Bitcoin as like this decentralized technology. The internet was originally a decentralized technology, right? There was like these nodes you can connect, and it's like everything's supposed to be decentralized, everything's great. I think DARPA made the internet so that if you like a nuke landed in like New York City, the other parts of the internet could still talk to each other. But somehow we moved away from decentralization, and we were pushed into these silos run by corporations. So the way I see Bitcoin and the way I see Nostr, it's a re-decentralization of the internet back to its roots, right? So we're gonna start to see smaller communities versus like these large, everyone talks about Twitter as like the world stage, and everyone's in like this one big massive like town square, but humanity is like, we evolved into like smaller groups and smaller communities and smaller tribes, and I think humanity is like works better that way versus like we're all fighting all the time in the town square. So I see Nostr, we're gonna probably re-decentralize into smaller groups, smaller communities, and go back to kind of our roots and back to our instincts. So I see Nostr as like a progression toward that re-decentralization of the internet. So I don't know, it's a different perspective, but I don't know, that's the way that I see Nostr going.
Well, over the past few years, I have seen quite a few social media protocols, including Nostr and a few others on Ethereum and other public chains. Most of them have actually disappeared, but Nostr is still here. It's very small, but still alive, right? And why? Because Nostr is fully decentralized, and there are a bunch of guys who love decentralization and who want to protect the decentralization. And for social media, actually, it's restricted everywhere, not only in China but also in US. And because it's about freedom of speech, and freedom of speech is not easy all over the world, right? So, well, I prefer seeing that, okay, Nostr community is small, lovely, and sustainable, and have a very will be here this year, next year, in 5 years, 10 years, and this is enough from my side. And if we don't want to enlarge the community, and probably we don't need that, because not everyone needs freedom of speech. Someone just enjoy Twitter. They can use Twitter or Weibo and Facebook and all other social media because they just want to show off their daily life. They don't need encrypted communication. And this is Nostr does. So Nostr and Demis and Yakihonne, I think, it will be there. It will have a very long life. But for others, I'm not sure. Yeah. But I hope that Demis and Yakihonne will have a better community and more users, and including Nostr can cover more area of the whole world. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. SMC will. Okay. So yeah, I think today we cover many topics. Like we talk about the Nostr, censorship resistant protocol. We talk about capital interesting and building motivations, especially UX challenges, stakepoints, innovations, and even the future of social media, social network. Said again, really appreciate all your fantastic panelists to join us, to share your insights, and also you guys is very unique, very unique, very small bunches. Yes, small, not the majority, but I mean. Well, let's back to the beginning topics. The past 3-4 years, we are travel a lot. We went to many different countries. We see a lot of Bitcoiners, Nostrs, new technologies, developers. Things changed every moment. The first time in Miami, 2023, in Bitcoin conference, just a small bunch of guys to talk about Nostr things, I think. But the last time, remember when you were in Amsterdam, in the main stage, was Martin, right? I said, you asked, hey, is there anyone know Nostr? Lots of people raised their hand. It surprised me. So say, even though, say Trump, the last Bitcoin conference, Trump went to do a speech, supported Bitcoin, and today his son, right, also support. Things changed. So I think we need more patience. I don't know, and need more folks. And just like Jamon said, we need to believe like Bitcoin. We need to believe. Okay. All right. Thank you all of you guys. We have 5-minute rest, and we will go to the next panel. We will talk about you like the Bitcoin, native Asian Bitcoin cultures, the community adoption. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you.